In this video, we'll be learning about how to export a JPEG file image inside of an Affinity correctly. So before starting the video, first of all, if you want to work with the image that we will be working in this video, please find the link in the description. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, hit the subscribe button to get new tips and tricks related to Affinity. Now without any further delay, let's get started. So now as you can see, we have this image right here. And we need to export this image with all of the settings or adjustment layers that we have applied. So to access the export box, we can navigate to this particular icon right here beside the export JPEG button and then click on advanced option right here. Or we can simply navigate to the menu item of file and then select export and click on export. So both of these ways will open the same export box. Now since we are exporting the image in JPEG file format, you can see that we have the JPEG file format already being selected on the left. And if the JPEG file format is not being selected by default, you can select it and then you can see that there are different JPEG presets already available that has been set up already by Affinity before exporting. So if you want to export the JPEG in best quality, you can select this option. If you want to export the JPEG file format in high quality, you can select this option. And if you want to export the JPEG file format in medium quality, you can then select this option. And if you want to export it in low quality, you can select this option. And if you notice something, then on the right, for every or each of the preset, the settings on the right will change or adjust accordingly. So for now, I'll select JPEG best quality option. And now you can see that the settings has been adjusted accordingly to that preset. Now let's look into our preset in detail. So I'll scroll up and first of all, you can set the width and height, which are the dimension that you want to set for your image. I'll keep the values as default for now, which is in pixel units. And the next option we have is lock aspect ratio. So for lock aspect ratio, we can turn this on if we want to save JPEG image with a proportional dimension of width and height. And if we do not want to save our JPEG image as a proportional dimension of width and height, then we can turn this off. However, in our case, I want the image size to be proportional, so I'll turn this on. And the next option that we have is resample option. So we can also resample while we are exporting our image. So there are different options that Affinity has provided to resample our image while exporting it. I'll select bicubic now because bicubic will maintain the sharpness and overall quality of the image. And if you want to understand what the other option does that is present in the resample option, then please refer to my previous video of resampling an image inside of Affinity, which I'll be giving the link in the description, as well as you can access from the top right corner from the link of the card in the video. The next option that we have is the area option. So for area option, there's only one option, which is whole document. And it is simply referring that we will be exporting the whole image. Our next option that we have is quality, which you can adjust starting from the initial values of 0 all the way to the value of 100. And one thing to note here is the JPEG file format is a lossy file format. That is, it will have a trade-off when we optimize the quality of the image. So for example, if we increase the quality of the image, you can now see in the advanced option below, there is something called estimated file size option. So if we decrease the quality, then the file size will also be lower. As you can see here, it is 164.3 KB. And you can decrease the quality of your file size if you want to save your image file for web or any other areas which requires an image with a smaller file size. And if we increase the quality of the image, as you can see here, now it is starting to calculate the estimated file size property, and it has given us the highest file size, which is of 21.2 MB right now. And like this, we can play around with quality as per how much quality we need from our image in order to export it for different areas or applications for our image, which will proportionally maintain the estimated file size of the image. So if we want to save our image for the web, we can adjust the quality to be less than 100, which would adjust the estimated file size value so that images will load faster when viewing images from browsers or web pages. So now I'll scroll down, and the next option that we have is don't export hidden layers option. So let's say, for example, we have a layer that is hidden inside of the layers panel, and we turn on this option. Then what it will do is it will not export that particular layer when exporting our work or images as a JPEG file format from Affinity. So since we do not have any hidden layers right now in our layers panel, I'll turn this off. And notice one thing, Affinity is smart enough to track all of our settings that we apply and calculate the estimated file size for the settings that we have changed inside the export box. So the next option that we have is pixel format. So if I click on this particular option right here, you can see that we can also select different option for our pixel format, which is RGB 8-bit, grayscale 8-bit, and CMYK 8-bit. We mostly use RGB 8-bit when we need to import our images for viewing it on devices, and we mostly export our images if we want the image to be printed on a hard copy paper. However, in our case, I'll simply click on use document format, and it will use the initial settings while we have created the new document, or when we have created the new document before working on this image. So the next option that we have is the matte option. So what the matte option basically does is, if there is any areas inside of our image that contains transparent properties, then matte option will simply apply the colors that we select in this matte. So for example, if I select a green color right here, and now you can see that the matte properties have changed the color from none to green. So if in case there are any areas inside this image that are transparent, then as JPEG file format does not support any transparency in the image, it will simply apply the green color to those areas. So the next option that we have is ICC profile. So to explain it further, we must export transparency images or the images having transparent backgrounds in PNG format, because PNG format supports transparent images, but JPEG do not support transparent images. For this reason, this particular color will be applied when we are exporting JPEG images that has an areas with transparent properties. So the next property that we have is ICC profile. And if we check the option for ICC profile, then there are many options right here. And ICC profile simply refers to the color profile that has already been predefined. So for example, if we look here, the ROM RGB and ProPhoto RGB are the options that supports a very wide range of color options. However, there are other options like sRGB that supports a very limited amount of color options. So by limited, I do not mean it supports a very less number of color options, but sRGB supports adequate number of color options or color range to be applied to our image. And mostly when we are uploading our image to the web in platforms like social media channels and other channels in the web, then we will be selecting sRGB because they support sRGB, ICC profile or color profile mainly. And sometimes, for example, if we select ROM RGB or ProPhoto RGB and export our image and upload it to any social media platforms, then there might be an issue of colors being dimmed out or muted or any color related issues. So for that reason, we will mostly be selecting sRGB. So I'll select sRGB for now, considering that I'll be using this image to upload it in our social media channels. So the next option that we have is of embed ICC profiles. So it is basically asking us if we need to embed the ICC profile data inside of this image or not. So for now, I'll set this option to on, indicating that I will embed the ICC profile data and option inside of this image. So the next option is include bleed. So by default, it's grayed out because we are currently working in the image instead of any vector or layout projects inside of Affinity. So bleed basically means a red line outside of our canvas or board, which indicates how much area or information of our project that we should cut out while printing them. So for our scenario right now, we do not need bleed. So it's automatically grayed out. So the next option that we have is progressive option. So basically progressive option refers to embedding either baseline or progressive encoding inside of our image. So if I turn this off, then Affinity will embed or include the baseline option by default inside of our image. And what baseline embedding does is, when we render an image inside of our browser or any platform, then it will render it from top to bottom simultaneously. However, if I turn the progressive option on, then now what most of the web browser or any rendering platform will do is, while rendering the image, it will download the image as well as render the information from the image synchronously. So those are two ways how baseline embedding and progressive embedding works. So I'll turn this on for now because we'll be saving the image for web, and since I want the image to download as well as render at the same time inside of our web pages. So the next option that we have is convert clips to path. So what convert clips to paths option does is, basically when we are exporting any image that has a clipping mask inside of it, then it converts that clipping mask into a path and exports our image. So that's all it does. And the next option that we have is embed metadata. So I will turn this option on for now because I want different information to be added with the image that we will be exporting. So metadata simply means the data of the image that we are currently exporting. So embed metadata means it will embed or include the image information while exporting. So the next option that we have is embed SDR image as gain map. So if we turn this option on, what it does is it will create a secondary layer that will have a wide range of color information. And if we open this image by turning this option on inside of different devices that supports HDR images, for example, if we open this image inside of screens like MacBooks, iPads or iPhones that supports the HDR display, then it will use the secondary layer to boost the color vibrancy and saturation. And in the next scenario, if we open this image inside of a screen that do not support HDR, then that particular next layer will simply get ignored. So for now, I'll simply turn this option off. And next option that we have is where we want to save this particular image to. And if we want to save this particular image to our local drive, then we can simply select ask for location. If you want to select this particular image to alongside document, then we can select this option. And if we want to export this image directly to Canva, then we can select this option. So for now, I'll simply select ask for location by default. And then the next option that we have is show in Finder. So what this option basically does is, if we check this option, then it will simply pop up the file or folder where we have saved this image or exported this image successfully. So for now, I'll simply check this on to enable show in Finder so that I can know if this image has been successfully exported to our intended file path or not. So now after I'm satisfied with all of the settings, and I will simply click on export, and now it will ask us where we want to save this image to. So I'll simply click on this particular folder right here and then hit on save. Now it has successfully exported our image, and as we have checked show in Finder option at the end, now you can see that it has displayed us that the image has successfully exported to this particular file location. Now we can simply click on our image and open the image to check if it has been successfully exported or not. So I'll close this image now, and now in this way you can use these tips to export your JPEG file format correctly inside of Affinity. So if you find this video helpful, please click on the like button, and for more tips and tricks related to Affinity, hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching this video. See you on the next video.